All my writing, all my talks, all my work one-on-one with people, all of it, has been aimed at hastening our transformation into a green, woke, feminist civilization. Yes, I said it. And I chose those words with a sharp-edged intentionality. That term, green, woke, feminist civilization, translates into saving our species and countless other species and our world as we depend upon it. Fecund soil, deep forest, rich oceans, azure skies, the exquisite, mysterious qualities of the pre-dawn darkness, the cycles of life and death, day and night, inhalation and exhalation, the glory of the flesh, the amethyst of courage, the emerald of will, all of it. Yes, the one collective goal I have dedicated my work to, alongside the one personal goal of healing as best I can from lifelong psychological and spiritual wounds, so that I can be said to have stood among those who held the line, both collectively and in my personal life, yes, to hold the line and, when possible, advance it in the service of the good. From time to time, there is need to take stock or to lean into the punctuation marks, to turn the page, a time to burn down the past. At 2 a.m., sometime after Yule, but before the end of the Mughal calendar year in 2022, so two years ago, I picked up Words of Power to look up something for someone. Flipping through, searching for the passage I wanted to reference, I kept running into whole chapters I hadn't laid eyes on in several years, and I was awestruck by the scope of the work. Suddenly, I saw the depth and breadth of it in a new way, in an eerie new way. And these three books, Words, I, the Dragon, and Secret Engine of the World, over 1,000 pages altogether, labor of love, act of will, spanning a decade, self-published, of course, abiding in obscurity. In that moment, I realized that in spite of my arrogance, as real and robust as it is, I was nevertheless being too humble about this body of work, too humble and too resigned. So incrementally, from 2022 to 2024, I organized and annotated samplings of my work along with relevant images and reader statements on a dedicated Instagram page, Words of Power, and words was spelled W-Y-R-D-S in the old Celtic way, distinct from the one that had been overtaken by my focus on our political and geopolitical struggles, which was at RGPOWERIII. But on January 20th, 2025 at high noon, for reasons that should be obvious, I bulldozed both my Instagram accounts along with my long-standing Facebook and Twitter accounts. Subsequently, I reestablished myself on Blue Sky and Substack. This series of posts, Artifacts of the Ancient Future, is a recreation and expansion of that dedicated Instagram account. The last 9 years have been a dark passage. There has been so much to push through collectively and personally. The first plunge into Trump, MAGA, and all of that in 2016, followed by the global COVID pandemic, a scourge that too many among us still pretend wasn't even what it was. Yes, dealing with all of that the state it induced. A state aggravated personally by grief over the incineration of the deeply magical forest that had been a sanctuary for me and those closest to me, yes, consumed in the fires of climate catastrophe in 2020. A state aggravated by grief over the death of a close young friend, stage 4 cancer, aggravated by sorrow over losing another close young friend, this one to delusions of the mind, and yes, aggravated by my own real deal health crisis, all of it. And now, yes, by the unthinkable, inexcusable second plunge into the pathologies of fascism, a plunge that could indeed prove fatal to our nation. But we chop wood and we carry water, and we marshal the forces of the sane and the good. Here's my list of deliverables, an inventory of trials and triumphs, the collected evidence of my work toward that one collective goal, that green, woke, feminist civilization which the arc of human evolution is leading us into despite the dire circumstances in which we find ourselves today. It is all or nothing now. That's it, period, full stop. So I am leaving this here. Artifacts of the ancient future contents of a stupa hidden in the West. Part 1, Readers Testify, consists of 29 slides, readers' insights into my work, and a few book excerpts too, all framed with images to communicate something of the ineffable. Part 2, the hashtag series, consists of 9 slides that explores themes in my work. The Matrikas, the Pleiades, Ancient Future, Shadow, Spiral, Lilith, Mysterium, the evolution of yoga and the yoga of evolution, the ascendancy of the feminine, the singularity. And it includes accompanying excerpts from all 3 books, Words of Power, I the Dragon, The Secret Engine of the World. Also, powerful images that contextualize and amplify each theme's meaning. Part 3, Gathering for the Spoken Word, consists of 8 slides featuring 6 to 7 photos each from some of the 25 or so talks that were foundational in the shaping of these 3 books over the past 15 years. From User's Guide to Human Incarnation, Yoga of Primal Reality, which is a series of 3 talks in 2010, and Mapping Primal Reality, Further Notes for User's Guide to Human Incarnation, a series of 7 talks from 2012 to 2013, Cauldron Yoga, Gaian Politics in the Way of the Future in 2015, Matrika, Midichlorians, and Mysterium in 2016, 5 Survival Tips of Your Journey into the Wilderness 2017, Dragon Bone Broth 2019, Pandemic 2020, Dreamtime Dweller, Straw Dogs, Mysterious Valley, and the Power of Nothing. Some of these talks are available on my YouTube channel. Spoken Words of Power. The Words of Power, I the Dragon, Secret Engine of the World, were not brought forth from my mind in a seated position at my laptop. They arose exclusively from talks and walks, from what yoginis call the throat chakra and what Gurdjieff would have called the moving center. The talks were delivered over the course of 11 years from 2010 to 2021, some in person, some online. The walks that led to what I call the epiphanies, some might call them poems or prayers, took place over the same span of time. Some in a lush, deeply magical forest, the one incinerated by the climate catastrophe of 2020, some in the city of the Golden Gate on the high hills or amidst flocks of pelicans at the ocean, the great highway. Yes, 25 talks and 156 epiphanies. The talks formed the skeletons and the nervous system of this body of work. The epiphanies shaped and animated its vital organs and 6 senses. This gallery of images from my in-person talks offer a powerful witness, magical beings coming together in celebration of the mysteries. Recently, I've been pondering the nature and function of stupas. All through the East, there are stupas. It's like lighting a candle on an altar. You do it, you know why, but then all of a sudden it takes on a new reality, deeper and vaster. They build a stupa around the bones of a saint. They build a stupa and stuff it full of scrolls and rattles and drums and bells and ashes, everything holy. And you go on a pilgrimage to the stupas. You circumambulate the stupas, pray in front of the stupa, live around the stupa, concentrations of energy. And all of us, in our own way, are building our own stupas in our life. It might be a body of profound yoga teachings that you are translating from the 20th century from the 19th century and the 20th century, from the patriarchy and from the East into a planetary language, a feminist language of yoga. For the 21st century, it might be someone whose life journey has gone from circumambulating Arunachala to playing the great golf courses of the world. It might be a person who has led a life of dance and art, striving to inspire people with the beauty and vision of their work. All of us are building stupas through our living, in which we are collecting relics, objects of vibration and holiness. It occurred to me that these 5 books, the 5 books that went into words, are like the building of blocks of a pyramid. The words of power, the 5 volumes that went into the 1 volume of words of power, like the building blocks of a pyramid. The pyramid at Giza, after all, you could say was the ultimate stupa, a transhistorical stupa, an interstellar stupa, an interdimensional stupa. That's one of the things that the pyramid is. So I started to see words as my pyramid, and dragon as the dragon as the sphinx that guards the portal that opens there. And then I wondered, well, secret engine, what is secret engine in relation to the pyramid and the sphinx? And I said, oh yes, secret engine of the world is the map that shows where the hidden chambers are. Now, of course, there is a 4th book completed, done, a sequel to Secret Engine, but what will it be in relation to the pyramid, the sphinx, and the map of the hidden chamber? I won't be answering that question for you just yet. I was intending to publish this book this spring, but I'm not going to, not now, not for a while. Maybe in 2026, maybe not. We'll see what the facts on the ground are by then. Meanwhile, I've built the stupa and stuffed it with relics for those who pass by.